to Jake Jackets. Gear up to fire the cannon and hit the ice with your host, Jay Ashdown and Jake Gehringer.
Exactly right. Oh my god. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to this today. It's the only thing I'm looking forward to today, if I'm being honest.
Let's go. Well, what else is going on today?
Oh,
we play Boston.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we do play the only team that we're really chasing and that we're out of the running for.
Well, not really. We're not chasing Boston anymore.
Oh, that's right. We're chasing Washington, and they're still.
Yeah.
Boston's 5 points ahead of Washington, and they have a game at hand on them. So it's really Washington. But honestly, we're not even chasing them anymore. We're chasing the Islanders.
Oh God! Great. Now we're the second team out. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Kepi Keepers, real quick.
Hard to find it when you've lost 5 in a row.
When you've lost 5 in a row and you lost a home and home that you thought that you would at least take one of.
You would hope that they would take at least one. I gotta give credit to the New York Islanders, though. They've been playing really well. I'm gonna be completely honest with you, Jake.
They've been playing Islanders hockey, and they've been doing fine.
You know, I gotta tell you, man, if you know how like the NBA does like the play-in games, like the play-in round.
I know how they did that for a couple of years.
They're still doing it.
Oh, is that like a permanent thing now?
Yes.
Okay.
If I were a team at the top, whether that ends up being the Florida Panthers or the Lightning or the Maple Leafs, I am just glad that that's not a thing, because I'm going to be completely honest with you, with the way that things are happening right now, I would much rather play the Washington Capitals in the playoffs than the New York Islanders. Now, you're not going to have to worry about it. The Islanders aren't going to make it. And it's not hard to figure out why. They had a rough start to the season. They had COVID issues.
13-game road trip because their arena wasn't ready.
Exactly. It was tough on them. I get it. But things are clicking now. The Islanders are a good team, man. They
are. I will say it's tough. We talked about it. We briefly addressed it last show because they called Corey Schneider up because, Sorokin's out. I'm sorry. Listen, I'm chewing gum this morning. I had a day yesterday, people.
I believe it.
So if I sound like distant or whatever, Jay's going to have to carry this show.
That's fine. Varlamov's been playing really freaking well lately.
He's been giving me good fantasy points.
Dude, I don't know if you saw his stat. Have you seen his stats against the Rangers?
No.
Last night was his 4th consecutive shutout against the Rangers at Madison Square Garden.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Some players just have certain teams they play well against or certain buildings they play well in. That dude just got MSG figured out. And I'm looking at, I watched the entirety of the game last night because I wanted to see, because the Islanders have been hot. I wanted to see how the Rangers would play against them. Gallant had a great quote post-game. He said we played like horse shit, which I thought was hilarious.
That's a Gallant quote right there.
It is.
Okay.
But, man.
I don't mean to cut you off.
Well.
I don't mean to cut you off, but to actually give out a Kepi.
Yes.
My dude deserves it. Oliver Bjorkstrand deserves it. He set a career high for goals.
I didn't know it was a career high.
It was career high. And I mean, he's been one of the only like regular bright spots on this team, throughout the year. Yeah. He's doing his thing. Oliver's doing his thing, and I love it.
Yeah. For me, 2 goals and an assist in his last 2 games, both against the Islanders. I'm going to answer the call and give it to Gav. Gav's been playing well.
Gavy's been doing great.
This year has improved so much in just in terms of his positioning offensively.
Well, we've talked about that plenty.
And obviously the defense has gone a little bit, but it's good. I mean, if we can get him back up defensively next year, along with the offense we're seeing, man, he's a complete player. And next year is the year that he's going to be the final year of his. They need to.
Oh yeah,
They can't worry about it right this second. The second he is eligible for an extension, they need to get.
It's Patty first, Gabby second.
Yeah, I agree.
Ring, baby.
I get it. It's tough because we've lost 5 in a row. Which is never good. But Jake, man, look at the schedule. Look at the teams they played.
Jay, listen, they play Boston in another home and home starting tonight, and it's
doesn't get any easier.
Yeah, it doesn't get easier.
You lost to the Penguins 5-1, which we obviously covered. That sucked. But then you lose in overtime to both the Jets and the Wild.
Points out of it.
The Jets aren't in a playoff spot right now. They have a tough road ahead. But they're still competing for a playoff spot.
That game against the Leafs that they just had. I love it.
The Wild are, a great team. Going to be trying to put themselves in a position to potentially win a Stanley Cup. And the
Talbot and Fleury as your 1A, 1B.
Yeah. Dude. And the Islanders have been great the last month.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Honorary thing. Okay. We're coming out of Kepi's. The home and home against the Islanders. You want one of those.
You do.
You want one of those.
Yeah, you want one of those. I would have preferred. I gotta be honest with you, man. I didn't get a chance to watch the away one because I was busy doing paper. I watched the home game.
Mm-hmm.
They had defensive breakdown, so they got up early. Gavrikov. Then they gave a 4 straight. They broke down defensively.
Yep.
They get one late in the second period. Gavrikov scores another one. The third period, they dominated. It was one of the best periods I've seen them play all year long. They got one back. Oliver Bjorkstrand, but they just couldn't get it done. And it's not. I find it hard to hold that against them because I'm like, I don't know what more they could have done. Varlamov was excellent.
There are a lot of times where we say that we can say this about any team, right? Where they can't close it out.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of those times where they just couldn't close it out.
Yeah, well, and you got to give credit to the Islanders because they're one of the best teams in the league.
To shut you down, yes.
That's their whole game, man.
Yeah, exactly.
If they get a lead on you, they make it fucking tough for you to get back in it. That's why they've had so much success against the Rangers. The Rangers are a playoff team.
That's why they've had playoff success. Like
exactly,
Jay. The way that the Islanders play in the regular season.
Mm-hmm.
Is exactly the way you want to play in the playoffs. You want to get something going early, and then once you've got something, doesn't matter if doesn't matter how big or how small it is.
Yeah.
When the time is coming down to it, and you're ticking down in the third period, there's no shootout. The overtime goes on. You got to be able to shut teams down and make sure that once regulation's over, you're the one on top.
They're the best team in the league at parking the bus.
Park the bus, exactly.
Yeah, it's no team in the league, not even Tampa, does it better than them.
Yeah, not even
Tampa has more firepower. That's why they beat them. They're one of the few teams that can actually overcome how the Islanders play because no matter.
And then they also have the best goalie in the world.
They can make their own. They can make their own scoring chances through all of it and capitalize. But yeah, I mean, Tampa's good defensively, but no team in the National Hockey League does it better than the Islanders.
Best goalie in the world to also just like say no, right?
Who?
For Tampa.
Is he?
Vasi?
Yeah.
Okay. This season.
It's Igor.
It's Igor. We know this. We know that it's Igor this season.
We need to see more from Igor. Like, he's still young in his career. If we get like another season or two of this, it's Igor.
Still, right now, it's still Andrei Vasilevsky. I would say so.
Yeah. There's some interesting goaltenders up there too for that conversation.
Anyway.
But yeah, I mean, it's crazy, man. It's crazy that the Islanders aren't going to be making the playoffs this year. Like I said, I get why. They had the rough start, but God, that's a break for teams in the Eastern Conference to not have to go through that team, especially with the way that they're playing right now.
If we're going to dig into this, okay, I just want to mention this really quick because the Blue Jacket socials posted this like this morning.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know Cole Sillinger's only 18 years old?
Has he not turned 19 yet?
No, I don't think so.
Jesus.
Digging into the numbers, the post or whatever. Cole Sillinger is the second youngest Columbus Blue Jackets player to record a hat trick.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming only behind Rick.
No, I think it's either Zherdev or Filatov.
Really?
Yeah.
Those are two guys that I kind of wouldn't expect.
Exactly. I remember seeing that though. I was like, yeah, because you would expect that it would be Rick, but it wasn't.
Zherdev. I kind of like that name though.
Yeah.
Second youngest to record a hat trick in Blue Jackets history. Has one of only 7 hat tricks for an 18-year-old since 1991-92.
Can you repeat that?
One of only 7 hat tricks for an 18-year-old skater since 91-92.
Jesus. Okay, I was.
Dude, it's been 30 years.
So Sillinger is 18 years, 301 days. It was Nikita Filatov, 18 years, 230 days.
Oh.
Crazy.
This kid.
That's insane.
This kid. I swear. And okay. Third stat. Leads all play. This is a stat that's pretty damn obvious. Leads all players in the 2021 NHL draft with 21 points. And the only reason that this is even a thing, he's literally the only one that's stayed around. And again, he's only 18 years old. Blue mouth guard is good.
Yeah, man.
Dare I say, it's silly how good this kid is. Okay, like I said, I need you to carry this.
I didn't know it was that bad today.
No, dude, I told you it was bad.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. First game against the Islanders. This was the 4-3 loss at home. You got Gavy starting things off. Answer the phone, baby. Nelson, Bailey. Assist from Liney. Peeker got one. Good for Peeker. Nelson, Bailey, Villiers, Parise, Gavy from Voracek and Liney, because I mean Gavy and Jake and Patty. I mean, come on. Borky got his 24th unassisted. 3 stars were Nelson, Gavy, Varley. Okay. That was probably the one that you wanted to get, right?
Yeah. I didn't. Well, also because the last few years we played pretty damn well against the Islanders at home. I mean, if you remember, very early in the season we beat them in overtime.
Yep.
I think they said on the Islanders broadcast at one point, like, Blue Jackets were 6-1-1 against the Islanders in their last 8 at home going into that game.
Mm-hmm.
So it sucked. It sucked. I mean, they played them well that night. They didn't play well the next night.
Well, I mean,
a good team, man. You got to figure it out. That's all it comes down to, is figure it the hell out. Win one of these next 2 games against Boston. Figure it out.
Listen, when the first goal you give up is not even halfway through the first, to the less notable Sebastian Aho.
Yeah.
And it was his first goal of the season, because of course it was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's how you know you're in for a bad night.
It's this tough debate when you're watching the team between Elvis needs to play better and the defense needs to play better. It's collective.
We know that this is the issue. We know that both are the issue.
Yeah, it's both just need to play better. And I think you need to get better on defense, and that's not just guys improving. It's just also just getting better players.
It's not just your top 3, because we know the top 3 is solid.
Yeah, I guess. But here's the thing, Jake. We talk about how good the top 3 are, but again,
and Z's out. Z's out.
Well, yeah, but also none of the top 3 are great defensively. They're all solid. They're all fine defensively, but you don't have a shutdown defenseman on your roster.
Right. If Peak turns into that, great. If
it
not,
would be nice. Can I be honest with you, man? And I'm just being as honest as I always am.
Well, yeah.
He looks like a right-handed Patrick Nemeth.
Oh.
He's going to give you nothing offensively, and he's okay defensively. He's fine. Play him on a third pair, man, I guess. But you got to have a better solution than Andrew Peak. You just do.
Yep. We said it last episode. You need a Brody. You need a Tanev.
Badly, man. They desperately need one. And the problem is, TJ Brody's, Chris Tanev's, they don't come. They're not available that often.
It's the 2 goals that Columbus scored were 4th liners. I mean, Bemmer. Good for Bemmer. Good for
playing well last few weeks.
Good for Bemmer.
Yeah, he's been playing well last few weeks. Like I said, they keep put him in the bottom 6 and let him play defense. Let him help out defensively. And defense leads to offense sometimes. If he gets a chance, he'll bury it. Like
he'll run amok and just
I know. I know people have complained about Bammer. I've been pretty pleased with what I've seen from him in the last 2-3 weeks.
And Justin from Gavi and Chinny.
Justin's been playing well too.
Oh yeah.
Glad that we're keeping him around.
Oh yeah. He's definitely like the most solid 4th line center that I've seen in a couple of years for Columbus.
Right. Because Corelli's not really on the 4th line yet. Yeah, I would agree with that.
And I mean, once, like you said, once KJ comes out.
Okay, let's.
You don't want to throw
for a second and not slander Riley Nash.
Well, no, yeah, right, yeah. I miss Riles.
I
miss Riles. He was
my low action king.
And he scored plenty. He scored for what we expect out of him, right?
He had that 1 goal against Tampa in the playoffs.
He had a perfect goal against Tampa. Couldn't stop Barzal, couldn't stop Palms. Because what do you think you're going to do? Catch him?
Yeah, especially with no Z out there to eat up minutes.
Yeah.
No, they struggled the way that I thought they would.
Our favorite defensive pairing got in on him, plenty.
Yeah. They're great, man. They're unbelievable.
Pelech and Pollock, man. I mean, they haven't even been playing together. It's been Pelech with Chara.
Has he been playing with Chara?
I doubt it.
I thought he's been playing with Dobson.
He's been, I have a feeling it's Dobson. I haven't looked, but it's like Pollock's been playing with Andy.
Yeah, with Andy Green.
Mostly.
Yeah.
Like,
The problem is that, and that's the only issue with the Islanders is they're so damn old. They can't keep Pelech and Pulock together because what are you going to do? Put a defensive pair out there of Andy Green and Zdeno Chara?
I want to see that though.
I'd love to see it. They should have done it against the Blue Jackets. Would skate right around them.
and then Barzal will just be like, okay, it's my turn.
Put Barzal back defensively. At least he can skate.
Yeah, exactly, right? What else can you do, man? We got 14 games left. They play Boston tonight and a start of a home and home. Boston tonight in Boston. Oh God. Oh,
yeah,
Lord.
I don't know if you know this, Jake. But the Bruins also beat the ever living shit out of the New Jersey Devils the other night.
Yeah, they did.
They took that Toronto loss personally.
Yeah, they did.
Tuukka Rask night, which can I just say, they really missed the boat with Tuukka Rask night. Why?
Oh, did they?
They did. Why in the hell did you not do it against the Maple Leafs? That would have been so much funnier.
That would have been fun. That would have been great. That would have been.
I have no idea why they did it against the Devils. The opportunity was right there. They could have done it against the Toronto Maple Leafs. Really stuck it to them. That would have been the funniest fucking thing ever.
Christian, Emily, you know I love you, but come on. we got to dig in just a little bit.
Well, it's funny. Like, I mean, you know, nothing they can do about it.
No.
Just, you know, simply don't trade a really good goalie prospect.
Don't trade like the best goalie prospect you've ever had.
Literally to your rival.
Yeah, right.
Like it would be one thing if they had traded Rask for Vestaskala and he was a Shark. It would be a lot different. It wouldn't be as bad. No, you traded him to the fucking Boston Bruins
for Andrew Raycroft.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
In Boston tonight, hosting Boston on Monday. The next day, oh God, okay. So there's a back-to-back on Monday and Tuesday with travel at Philly, which you would hope to beat Philly, right?
You'd hope.
I mean, who knows if they're gonna. Oh, good. It's a no-bones Saturday. That's exactly how it feels. Anyway, like you think they're, I don't know what Philly's schedule looks like. I don't know if they're going to start Martin or Carter.
Yeah. Yeah, I have no idea.
I don't know if they're starting Jones or Hart, but.
Or maybe someone in their minor league system. Did you see what they're doing to Keith Yandel?
Do we want to talk about that real quick?
We can make mention of it. They're scratching him, man. He's 11 games away from 1,000 straight.
They better fucking not, because I've heard that.
No, it's official.
Oh no! Oh.
Like it's official. They've already done it.
Oh God! That's awful. That's awful.
Because it's like, I mean, like, look, man, like it's not like you're in a playoff race. And if you're saying, well, this guy sucks, we can't continue to play him, why the fuck did you play him all season then? Like, you knew he sucked all that.
Because, dude, 989. Okay, that is the record. And Phil Kessel can break it.
Mm-hmm.
But
just let him get to 1,000. He's right fucking there.
Exactly.
It's so fucking stupid, man. It's so lame. That's
the lamest fucking thing in the world. Literally, like, we talk about lame duck coaches. We talk about lame duck.
What a lame duck coach. That dude sucks.
I mean, no wonder he's been an assistant for as long as he has. He's an interim. And he's probably going to stay there.
Yeah. I mean, the Flyers need to find a real coach. And I'm gonna be honest with you, Jake. We talk about all the time, like going to the recycling bin and stuff like that. Yeah, they need to hire someone new. They need someone fresh. They can't do a retread again. I actually couldn't hear you.
Babs.
I'm about to end the call. You're like, okay, I hear you out, but what if? They did the most toxic retread.
I mean, bring him to Broad.
Here, I have a better idea. Okay.
Bill Peters?
Just don't. I'd rather have no coach.
Than Babcock or Peters, exactly.
Well, yeah, I'm not gonna bring Bill Peters in.
Yeah. Keenan. Literally just named like the most toxic coaches ever.
If they're gonna do a retread coach, they have to at least make it hilarious.
Torts.
No,
Dude.
they need to make it genuinely hilarious. They need to bring in Dan Bylsma.
Oh God. Isn't he an assistant somewhere right now?
Is he an assistant with the Red Wings?
He might be.
It seems like I don't know like where you want to go. I don't know if you want to go to your minor league system. I don't know who the head coach of Lehigh Valley is.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you want to go to college. You find someone new though. Get someone who's never been a coach in the National Hockey League before and give them a shot.
Sure. Did you see the April Fool's thing that Columbus did yesterday?
I have another take. April Fool's Day is the dumbest fucking day.
I mean, it is.
Literally,
part of me didn't recognize that it was April Fool's Day because I was so caught up in just going to work.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a new Chili Peppers album that came out. There was a new Pup album that came out. I was just like, I'm going to jam to these.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Right.
Which, by the way, both of them, I've been waiting for Unlimited Love for forever.
I didn't know that Chili Peppers came out with a new one.
They just got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Nice.
I love it. And Chad paid tribute to Taylor Hawkins. I was like, yes, thank you.
Yeah.
And
awesome.
Yeah. Unlimited Love is fantastic. 17 songs. It's amazing. And the new Pup album, I saw when they were like releasing the singles on Spotify. I was like, okay, I see what you're doing. Because the fun part was the title of this album is the Unraveling of Pup Band.
Right.
They released certain singles. I think they're a little bit out of order, but they released them backwards.
Oh.
So if that tells you anything,
that's pretty cool.
It's pretty fun marketing, right?
Yeah, it is.
And then, last night they released the full thing and I'm like, this is awesome. And like, I hadn't been into like NHL 15 was the first time I ever heard Pup with Lionheart, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I didn't get back into them until I met Christian and he introduced me to the Morbid stuff and I was like, oh, this is fun.
Yeah.
These guys are so much fun. And then I found out they were doing this and I was like, yes, okay, I'm all in.
I'm glad it was good.
Oh, it's so good. You got to check it out. It's super fun.
Yeah, send it to me. I might check it out sometime.
Yeah. But the April Fool's thing, there was a mascot trade that didn't get approved.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I thought the joke was like super corny, but I got a laugh when Vegas responded.
I didn't see Vegas's. Okay, so the
Vegas
trade
responded. They were like, "Happens."
It happens.
Usually, I hate Vegas's Twitter account, but I actually laughed at that.
That was the first time in a while.
Yeah.
The trade was Stinger for Bernie. Bernie is the Colorado Avalanche mascot.
Yeah.
Adorable design. Let me just, because he's a St. Bernard, right?
I believe so, yeah.
One of the best mascots in the NHL is Bernie. And I mean, I'm not going to shit on Stinger because he's our dude.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with Stinger.
Love Stinger to death. But the fact that one thing that I will say about Stinger, his head's green. Pretty sure his stinger and his tail is still yellow.
That was green.
If it's green and I just haven't looked in a while,
I think it's green.
it better match, because if it doesn't match, then that's a problem.
So the Avalanche tweeted like word for word what Vegas tweeted when they welcomed Dodonna back. They said,
I love it.
Recognize the league's decision and welcome Bernie back to our club. And Vegas they responded with, been there.
Oh, it's beautiful. Wow, I love it when socials can just play. When PR people can just play and have fun with something like that.
For real.
It's so good. Oh man, like I said, I'm loopy today. I'm having a day. Excuse me, just give me a second. Guys around you had a really, really special night last night.
It was cool as hell. A couple of my friends went to it. They said it was unbelievable because it's the first. I don't know if it was an official sellout. I'll have to check out like the NHL attendance, but
there was a guy on Discord that was really just. There was a guy on Discord who's like the biggest Buffalo guy in the world, and he was all in on it.
19,070 people, 100% last night for the Sabres. Coyotes last night were at 79.3%.
Good for Arizona.
Not bad. But speaking of the Sabres, man, Don Granato, man, what a job he's doing with that team. They've been great the last month.
Oh yeah, they've been definitely holding down the fort.
We're like 9-3-3 in their last 15, I think.
Well, we knew that they were going to improve sooner rather than later.
Yeah, they're just it's the pieces are coming together, man.
Yeah.
Thompson scored 30. He has 30th goal last night.
Oh, yay! Good for.
Which is funny, I saw a tweet that made me laugh. It was like career 30-goal seasons. Jack Eichel 1, Tage Thompson 1. He's only 6 goals away from tying Jack Eichel's career high in goals.
Wow. I want to step away from the Sabres as a whole, and I just want to talk about Rick Jeanneret.
And what he means to not just the Buffalo Sabres and the city of Buffalo, but I think just to the National Hockey League.
Rick Jeanneret has been around the Sabres. He's retiring this year. It's the saddest thing. He's been around the Sabres the entire time. Can you believe that?
Yeah. It's crazy.
My father was born in 1970. Rick Jeanneret has been around the NHL and around the Buffalo Sabres since they started in 1970.
He's 79 years old.
And he is as youthful as ever.
For real. His energy is unbelievable. His passion for the game is just unmatched.
He looks really young for 79 still, too.
He still looks like he's doing pretty well, man. But
he looks like he's 20 years younger. They raised a banner. It's going to stay up in Key Bank. Man, we're young. I got into NHL hockey really fairly late.
Yeah.
And yet just hearing the stories when I heard them, right? Calling Jack Eichel games, like when I heard throwbacks to Mayday.
Yeah, Mayday, LaFontaine, those kinds of calls.
LaFontaine, perfect calls.
Population of Pominville has just gone up by 1.
That's a good one. I like that.
That's a great one. Dude, he's got so many good. Oh, his call from when Brian Campbell absolutely just battering ram right into RJ Umberger.
Oh,
That call is unbelievable. Danny Briere, all just so many unbelievable quotable goals. Different.
plenty of Hasek saves, I'm sure.
Yes. Oh my God, the Hasek saves. Roll the highlight film. Like he's just an unbelievable career, man. For real. It's crazy how it's crazy how important he is to the Sabres. It feels like just a brand new era.
It's gonna feel so weird next year, right?
Yeah.
Who do they have?
Dan Dunleavy, who I actually really like. He's been doing the majority of the games this year when RJ hasn't been calling.
Okay.
I recommend you should listen. I actually think he's going to be pretty good. He's not going to be
Because that's a lot like Marty Brenneman, right?
Yeah.
When Marty was on his retirement tour for Cincinnati, obviously Tom for a while did things until he didn't anymore.
Castellanos said it's driving to deep left field
to make it a 4-0 ball game.
But yeah, no, that's the
Jim Day stepped in
obviously,
a lot for
but that's
Marty.
the comparison.
Yeah,
Is a legendary commentator who does some of the games, but the replacement's been in the works, who's been calling some of the games. Their role starts to increase, and now they're retiring, and they're just going to take over in general. I think Dan Dunleavy was going to do a really good job. I like him.
I hope so.
He was on the call last night. Look, check out the highlights. He's good.
Huge shoes to fill.
Huge shoes to fill for sure. But the good thing for him is nobody expects him to be RJ, and I think that's
the biggest thing, right? Just and that goes for broadcasting in general. And that goes for us. We're just doing this for fun until if this takes off, awesome.
If it doesn't, we're just having fun with it.
We're gonna love it for years, and hopefully we can do it for seasons and seasons.
Yeah, and I mean, think about it. It just happened with the National Hockey League in general this year. We have so many good commentators, but nobody has the expectations that anybody's going to take over for Doc Emmerich as the lead.
Doc,
great play-by-play guy.
I miss Doc so much.
You know who I think should be like
Falcon alumni, Doc Emmerich.
Yep.
1976.
Should be like permanent though for it, like permanent calling national games. Don't work for an NHL team. You are the lead guy.
Who?
Brendan Burke.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
Dude, he's outstanding. He's really, really good. I know he loves calling Islanders games, but
he's so good at it.
Yes.
He's mind-blowingly good. I mean, okay, so Nashville's is great, and obviously we gripe about Jack Edwards, but he's so good for a regional broadcast.
Yeah, there are guys who are just really good at who can be national broadcasters, but then there's guys like Jack Edwards who can't do that, but are unbelievable for your regional broadcasts.
Mickey on color for the Red Wings.
Oh, dude, I love those guys. Mickey's great.
Mickey Redmond is so much fun. It's funny because like even when Mickey is like checked out and jaded.
Did you watch the Dangits video for this past week? Steve was making fun of the Devils color commentator and how
no. He wasn't making fun of him because Ken Danico.
Yes, Ken Danico, that's his name. Yeah,
is so former Devil Ken Danico.
Yeah,
Ken is so much fun.
Yeah, no, like just like he was talking about like how he's like his favorite like guy.
Ken and Kinge is like one of my favorite tandems in broadcasting.
It's hilarious though because you didn't see the video, right?
I think I did at this point.
It was the double
I remember.
post.
Yes. Like,
oh, it went into the net. He was like, Yeah, then that went into the net.
Oh wait, yep, double post. I'm sorry. I was
Yeah.
having too much fun.
No, I was dying at him just like being like, he's my
We've
favorite.
talked about. I think I
Yeah,
mentioned Kanj when we had Alex on
Yeah.
because Kanj is really good at play-by-play.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know. I just every time I listen to like watch Devils games, I'm just like, Ken, man, you were just the most monotone guy ever.
Rims and Jody
Yeah.
has become really, really good.
I love listening to Jody. Jody's great.
Because obviously you want former players.
Yeah.
Eventually, right?
And also just like when you get back to like the booth and it's Brian Giesenslaw with Jean-Luc Grandpierre, those are also they're also great at it. Don't know who's gonna take over for play-by-play when
Rims is
Jeff's
done.
But
yeah,
for quite some time.
He's been there for a while. I want to say 07?
I was gonna say 07 too, as I think is when he took over.
07, 08, something like that. Was when Rims took over in Columbus. Man, but can you imagine? Can you imagine being a guy like Rick Jeanneret and being around for an entire franchise's existence up to this point? That is your entire life.
I can't imagine that. Like, it would be. Could you imagine? Like, I don't know who's Vegas's play-by-play guy. Do you know
I
his
have
name?
no idea what his name is.
He's nowhere close to as good as RJ. But like, imagine like him just being their play-by-play guy for the next 50 plus years.
I mean, he's good.
Crazy. It would be crazy. What would it be? 2070.
Oh my God.
2070. He finally retires.
Does that, dude? Even 2022 sounds like the most futuristic year. Does it not sound like we're in like the SpongeBob SB129 future?
You're right, because they started. It was the 2017-18 season. If this guy were to commentate for the Golden Knights and retire in 2070, he would have done it for 53 years. I mean, that's how long RJ's been doing it. Yeah. just that's for anybody who's struggling to
put it in perspective.
Think about that. 2070. Or if you want to do 52 years specifically, 2069. That's pretty nice.
That's pretty nice.
It's insane though. But seriously, unbelievable career. Congrats to RJ. RJ night was a total success.
Oh my God.
Here's one great night. Unbelievable night for Buffalo.
That is the only way that it could have gone better anyway.
Yeah. Finally selling out at home. First sellout crowd they've had in over 2 years. And being able to win that game and the team's been playing well, it feels like this is the break the Sabres have needed.
It's stars aligning, right? It's like ever since the Jack Eichel trade, the Sabres really just hadn't had much going on for them until Tage started coming on. Tuck, the hometown hero. Krebs is doing fine. More than fine. You call your guys up. Craig Anderson, defying age. Pretty much ever since Jack got traded, it's been pretty roses for the Sabres.
Which is just like I know it's not like Jack's fault.
No.
And I know it's not like, oh, finally we got rid of that guy. Now we can have success. But it's
right.
It's hilarious coincidence, isn't it?
It's pretty funny.
It helps people push their narratives about Jack Eichel.
Pretty much, right? And I mean, the fact that Vegas is on the outside looking in probably just slid right back in, right?
Yeah, they're in the second wild card spot. They're 1 point ahead of Dallas, but again, Dallas still has 4 games at hand on them.
It's very much
like there's no
right there.
I think they play each other one more time.
Ooh.
I guess has to win that game.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do.
They simply cannot afford to in any capacity.
Watch Jack be like, okay, I got to do this myself again. Are you serious?
Yeah. So it's the third last game of the season. Vegas plays at
Ooh.
Dallas.
Ooh, oh, in Dallas. Oh,
Mhm.
I kind of want to hear
Dude,
a lot.
I'm just looking at Dallas' schedule. Let me just read this out to you. Next game at San Jose, at
Okay.
Seattle.
Okay.
Those two favorable matchups.
Yep.
And then they got to play the Islanders and the Maple Leafs.
Whoop. Oh.
But then they get New Jersey at home and Chicago.
All
And
right.
Tampa and Minnesota. But then they get San Jose and Vancouver. Then they get Edmonton and Calgary. Then
Fair
they
enough.
get Seattle, Vegas, Arizona, Anaheim.
Oh, wow. What a way to finish.
Dude, man, 4 games at hand and a relatively easy schedule the rest of the year, man. I'd be stunned if Dallas missed. But also, it would be the most Dallas thing ever if they did.
To miss? Yeah. It would be the most Rick bonus thing to miss.
Yeah. But
all I know is, like, against Vegas specifically, I want to hear a lot of Pantera. If I'm being honest, I want to hear a lot of Pantera against Vegas.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So much congratulations and kudos and everything to Rick Jeanneret, man. Like, we didn't grow up with Rick Jeanneret. We didn't grow up with this guy, but we did.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, so I saw a tweet from a Buffalo fan that one of my buddies retweeted, and it was a girl talking about how, like, my dad, there's a 40-year gap between me and my dad.
Yep.
And we're both in tears over this RJ celebration thing because we both grew up on him. It's crazy. Imagine you and your father, 40-year gap, growing up on the same person. That's the legacy that he has with this team.
That's how I felt with Marty.
Yeah.
That's how I felt with Marty Brenneman, dude. Like,
I'm sure
seriously.
your dad probably felt the same way. Yeah. So, like, it's unbelievable, man.
There's really not another comparable, is there?
I don't think there is.
I don't think so. Unless,
at least there's not many that I
in hockey, there's Doc and Mike Lang.
I was gonna say, like, for just sports in general, you got Bob Costas, Al Michaels,
Vin, absolutely Vin Scully. Like,
oh yes, Vin Scully for
how
sure.
did we go this long without mentioning Vin Scully?
100%. I think Vin Scully is probably the best comparison.
Probably.
Just because he's regional more than anything.
That
you
too.
know, the Dodgers, the same way that RJ was with the Sabres.
Yeah.
Because, you know, and Al Michaels and Bob Costas are great, but they were both national.
Yes.
So, but still, unbelievable career. Great night. And thank you for
RJ.
everything, RJ.
Man, you sent me something last night when I was in the middle of dish hell.
Mm-hmm.
No, actually, I think you sent it like right when I was caught up, and then an hour later, I was in the middle of chaos.
Right.
Roman Josi's on pace for 102 points.
Yes.
What?
Yes.
Okay, I know this guy has been in the Norris conversation this year, like he's been for the past 5.
He should win it.
Cale Makar, as an argument, he's been in there. He was the early front runner for the Norris. Yes. Because he was just on that torrid of a pace.
Yes, and Cale Makar is
a monster. Cale Makar is so good.
But dude, this guy's gonna get 100 fucking points. Like, I usually, like, you know,
okay, John Carlson was the last one to do this, not even 2 years ago.
How many points did he have?
He was on pace for 109.
But did he get 109?
That I don't know. I don't think he did.
I know COVID screwed him, from
That's
it.
it. Yeah, that was exactly what it was.
But he didn't do it. So, but no, man, this guy, he's incredible. And he's been great his entire career, no doubt about it.
It's
But
just
this year
because he
is just
plays in
extra special.
Nashville. It's because he plays in Nashville. There are markets like Columbus, like Nashville, like, I don't know, throw a name out there. Dallas, sure.
Yeah.
Florida. They get so overlooked because of where they are and who they have. And it's not like, there are hundreds of players in the National Hockey League.
I'm not 100% sure he has that going against him, to be honest with you, because
Really,
the Avalanche aren't. I feel like the Avalanche and the Predators are on the same scale in terms of how they're presented by the leagues. Obviously, we know that the 6 teams that are presented the most are your original 6.
well, obviously, yes.
And then you've got other markets that are great, like the Capitals, the Penguins.
Yep.
For sure. But there's teams like that get presented more because of their success. But I feel like they're in that
Lightning.
They're probably in that, the Lightning too, obviously. that mid-tier of they get recognition. They're not like at the forefront of recognition, but they're not buried like the Panthers are. Like
They're not buried. Oh God, I can't wait for that day. I'm so happy that Boone and Bjork went to the NHL Network to like present ideas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
because that can hopefully drum up some Columbus shit.
Yeah. Here's the thing, and
because I feel like for a while Columbus and Nashville were, on that same level.
They definitely were, but what changed it was when Nashville went to the Stanley Cup final, and then they started getting outdoor games. They started to get outdoor games. People recognize what an unbelievable fan base they have and how much fun they were. They had one of the league's most recognizable faces.
Section.
Yeah.
That like prison section or whatever they call it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
But like other things too. Like they got recognizable names. Like everybody recognized Pecorine.
Yep.
They had P.K. Subban for a while.
Philip Forsberg.
Yeah, Philip Forsberg. So there's recognition there. So even when they got rid of Subban and Pecorine retired, people notice you say Saros is really good. They just become
when they signed Duchesne.
Yeah, Duchesne too. Duchesne for sure. They've become, and they're in the upper half of the National Hockey League in terms of I'm trying to think what's the word? Recognition. I was about to say recognizability, and I don't think that's a word.
Well, I mean, okay, because Nashville as a city too, right? As a market.
Oh, what a great city.
I love Nashville. I've only been there once. But that's obviously paintball was the reason I was there. Because my brother plays paintball. Just exploring and causing chaos in the city.
Yeah.
And just being a fan of country music like I am too is just like it was so good. It just felt, it was one of those trips that felt right.
Yeah.
And like I passed by Bridgestone. We went into the team store. My Johansson shirt is faded all to hell already. And it's been like 4 years.
Right. But they've had like from like I said, like for recognition, like from Shea Weber to PK Subban.
Shea is probably one of the biggest names they've had.
Yeah. They've grown so much over time from being that like really small market viewed franchise. That's the path that I'm hoping the Blue Jackets can get to at some point.
I know we've talked broader Nashville. David Poyle's been there since the start, just like Junior.
He literally, like,
literally, yeah.
That's the other thing is just the continuity that they have within the organization.
John Hines, really,
he's still
the
bald.
coach. He's bald, is it? He's cue ball. Anyway, literally, the Josi for Norris. Are we really going here?
Yes,
I'll take it.
I'm all in on it.
I'll take it.
Here's the thing: his defense has taken a step back this year because he's been so involved offensively. But it's not like he's the liability at all.
No.
And also, here's the other thing, Jake. Like, let's be real. We know what this trophy is. It's not best defenseman award.
Best offensive defenseman.
Defenseman.
Yes, exactly. Okay. So, I've seen this so many times in Dang It's, in LFRs, in whatever Steve does, in whatever else you want to watch. We need a second trophy.
We do. We
need, what would we call it? Who's the player? Like who's the defensive defenseman that we would name the second trophy after? Because we need one for offense. Because the Norris is turning into offensive defenseman.
It is. I understand why they used to not do that, because if you were to do best offensive defenseman and best defensive defenseman, both awards would be won every year by Nicholas Lidstrom. But we're not living in that age. Yep. So we gotta find a new one.
Yep. Throw a name out there,
Sure. Like, seriously, if you're gonna do best,
do you want to rename the Norris the coffee and then like?
Yeah, I don't know if you want to do that, but I don't know. Maybe if you're looking for best overall defenseman, just name it the Adam Pelech Award or something like that.
The Pelech, I love it. Roman Josi.
Yeah.
Dude, I love it. I love what he's
or name it the Mackenzie Weegar Award. I don't care.
The Weegar. Just throw it up.
They're never gonna do it. I understand that it's best offensive defenseman, and that's why I'm saying Josi for Norris. He's gonna win it.
It changes from year to year, dude. Like one year it's gonna be best offensive defenseman. Next year it's gonna be two-way. Mm-hmm. It's gonna be back to offense the year after.
They do it for whatever narrative they're trying to spin.
Yep.
Because I mean, like last year, it was crazy that Victor Hedman was even in the top three. He's been great this year. He's been unbelievable this year.
Fantastic.
Last year was a down year for him, and it was just he was in the top three because of recognition more than anything. It was really between Cale Makar and Adam Fox, and they were like, Adam Fox is the better two-way guy. So we're gonna go with Adam Fox.
Sure.
And this year it feels like it's gonna be an offensive trophy again.
I mean, it felt like it was gonna be an offensive trophy when Carlson won it, and it was.
Yeah, it did. I felt like throughout the course of that year that he was gonna win it, and he did.
Well, the fact that he was he was leading the Capitals for a while in points production, and he was 12 points. He was 12 points at one point ahead of Alex Ovechkin.
Yeah.
How silly is that?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, like, come on. Anyway, yeah. I'm honestly, you brought me around. Josi for Norris. Let's fucking do it.
I'm all in on it.
Auston got his 50th goal, and this is the first time I think he's hit 50.
It is. Because he's been robbed of 2 50-goal seasons, because he would have been on a 50-goal pace last year, and he probably would have hit 50 the year before if COVID didn't shorten the season.
He's still got time to hit 60, eh?
Yeah, he'll make up for that by getting 60 this year. I think it's a lock that he's going to get 60.
Oh, he's a lock for the Rocket. Like, there's no doubt in my mind there.
I think he's going to do it.
We're a Blue Jackets podcast. I love me some Maple Leafs. My two best friends are Maple Leaf fans. Come on.
Jake, he can maybe get 60. I say he does it.
Please. Please, Auston, let's fucking go. I love this guy. Him and
it's
Mitch are
man.
like my favorite. Listen, we talk about Voracek and Line.
Yeah.
Austin and Mitch are my favorite. We
I
talk about Nick and Ovi.
Yeah.
We talk about dynamic duos like that. We talk about Connor and Leon. Mitch and Austin is my favorite.
We talk about Keith Yandel and Rasmus Ristolainen. But no, man, for real, it's I think you know well enough that I am not really the biggest Maple Leafs guy. They've been overhyped the last several years by Toronto media.
Well,
The
that's
media
just what
loves. They're in
That's
love.
just
with
what Toronto media does.
It is, and I think that's where a lot of the annoyance comes from for a lot of fans, specifically me. And then just generally speaking, how the fan base is doesn't help. But
well, okay,
as annoying as
everybody has pockets, it's just that Montreal and Toronto have the bigger pockets of those fans. They have the louder pockets of those fans.
Yeah. But you know, like I was saying, like with as annoying as the fans can be, as annoying as the media can be.
Yep.
I am fully convinced it would be a league-wide consensus that Auston Matthews is the best player in the National Hockey League if he wasn't wearing a Leafs jersey.
Oh yeah. I mean,
people don't want to admit it because he's a Leaf.
We see that with Connor in
There's
an
so
Oilers
much hate
jersey.
with the Leafs. Exactly. If he were on the Sharks, would the conversation would be different, wouldn't it be?
If he were on the Coyotes,
people don't really hate the Sharks that much. Like maybe if you're a Ducks fan or a Kings fan, sure, but like most people don't hate the Sharks. If he was the San Jose Shark right now, I think a lot of people would be like, "This Auston Matthews guy, he's the best player in the league."
Oh yeah,
he's significant. Like God, Jake. It's not that he's good defensively. Jake, he's one of the best defensive centers in hockey. He does that on top of being the unbelievable goal scorer and playmaker that he is.
Yeah. No, because if you want to bring up his J Fresh thing, be my guest, because
Dude,
I know that's how it is. We don't talk about his defensive game enough.
We don't. We
really don't.
We have fully come to accept that Draisaitl and McDavid don't play defense, and that's fine. I don't care.
Yeah.
It doesn't bother me that they don't. I don't criticize them that they don't. But
right.
Jake, this season, Auston Matthews, what do you think his expected goals against like percentile is for defense? How good defensively do you think he is?
I saw his card recently. I don't remember how recent it was. It's somewhere in like the 80s to 90s, isn't it?
Try Connor McDavid's number.
Oh my God.
He's like, when I say he's one of the best players in hockey, dude, this guy has become Patrice Bergeron level of two with also having the best goal scoring ability in that.
And all we hype up is the goal scoring.
He has passed Ovi in terms of today's game in being the best goal scorer currently in the National Hockey League.
Yes.
There is no goal scorer in the National Hockey League that's better than Auston Matthews.
He has 50 goals in 62 games.
Dude, he's giving you McDavid and Draisaitl-like production offensively while giving you Patrice Bergeron level defense.
Underrated. Okay. This is just like, we know how Toronto media hypes up everybody. We know that these players are who they are because of who they are, where they play, all of this. What's not getting talked about? 58 games played, 28 goals, 51 assists. Mitchell Marner.
Here's the thing, man. We know Mitch Marner's great.
We know he's like the best playmaker in the league.
He's a very good player. I don't know where you want to rank him. He's a top
His
10.
favorite thing is passing the puck. That's why he's got over 50 assists.
But we talk about what a great duo McDavid and Draisaitl are and how unbelievable they are offensively.
Mm-hmm.
And don't get me wrong, Mitch Marner's no slouch.
No.
Mitch Marner's top 25 player in the National Hockey League. But Jake, Auston Matthews is putting this production up. He doesn't have Leon Draisaitl next to him. Mitch Marner's awesome, but he's not Leon Draisaitl.
He's got Mitchie. That's good enough for me.
It is good enough, but I'm just saying, like, he's giving you this production, and he doesn't have the tools that McDavid does. Yes,
not like Connor needs those tools.
I know, but like you get what I'm saying. Like, Marner's really good. Draisaitl's even better offensively. McDavid, Matthews is doing more with less because, and then on the other side, they signed this guy, this dude, Michael Bunting, had just a weird, high shooting percentage in a very short span with the Coyotes. And Kyle Dubas gave him less than $1 million over 2 years, brought him in, and was like, all right, we're putting you on the top line with Matthews.
I love how much the Scarborough kid is doing for this team.
Dude, it's crazy that they just brought this kid out of nowhere. Nobody freaking heard of this guy.
He turned into Hyman 2.0 already.
Dude, he might finish the season with 30 fucking goals.
I love it. He's in the running for the Calder despite being 26 years old.
The ability to pull this, I'm going to make a comparison here, okay?
Uh-huh.
And I don't think this is a crazy comparison. Undrafted kid.
Right.
Left winger.
Yep.
Blossoming later on in his career. Takes him a little bit to come up.
Right.
He's put on the first line with the best center in the National Hockey League.
I know where you're going. I think I know where you're going.
Who am I going to compare him to?
Fred?
No. Michael Bunting is the next Pascal Dupuis.
Oh!
Playing next to Sidney Crosby. Remember this? Dupuis was on waivers.
You're right.
He was an attraction. He goes to the Penguins. They put him with Crosby.
You're right. Yep.
Immediately. That's what they've done with this guy.
You're right.
I mean, just what are the stats on this guy for this season? He's got 20 goals, 31 assists. He's got 51 points.
Well, we also talk about the biggest hole they need. The biggest hole they need to fill, because we already know Bunting fits so well with Austin and Mitch. The biggest hole they need to fill is on the left of JT.
I think the solution's already in that lineup.
Kerfy?
I see no reason why the second line shouldn't be Kasha.
Kasha, yep. Yeah, well, I mean, other than Kasha being out for as long as he's been out for stretches, you're not wrong though, because Kasha really kind of has been the best fit.
They need someone for the short term, like you said, but long-term solution on the left wing with Tavares and Nylander needs to be Kasha.
Short term, if Kasha's out, Kerfy does fine. We know Kerfoot can work over there.
Yeah.
Anyway. Austin scored 50 already. Oh my God. And I say already as if what? Because it felt that expected all year long, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is the first time he's ever scored 50 goals in his career.
It's going to be the first of many.
This kid is 2 months older than I am.
Mm-hmm. Here's the difference between Auston Matthews and Alex Ovechkin. Okay. From what I see, Ovi has the best shot I've ever seen.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's automatic.
It's just literally.
You know where he's going to go. He literally is going to stand in the same spot and he's going to score on you.
Yes, it doesn't matter. Does not matter. It's going in the net. It doesn't matter.
In his prime, when he had like when he was a really good skater, because obviously that ability has diminished over the years with age, which you can expect. But
and yet it hasn't diminished. It feels like it hasn't diminished at all.
It's definitely diminished, but not to a crazy extent. Like, but the moves he can do off the rush, the chances that he can create on his own are so unbelievable.
Right.
In his prime and even currently.
Oh yeah.
Auston Matthews, he does that too, but also he's so good defensively. Ovi doesn't play defense. I don't care. He doesn't need to. He's Ovi.
Yep.
But Auston Matthews is so good defensively. He gets scoring chances off of his defense.
He does.
That's the difference.
Yep.
Think about the goal he scored against the Canucks. The Canucks. Besser turns the puck over. He just immediately recognizes the play, sees it happening, perfect positioning, picks off. He doesn't just pick off Besser's pass. He doesn't pick it off at all. He doesn't like intercept it. He literally just gets in front of it and fires it immediately. He one-timed a pass from the opponent. I've never, and it was perfect. I've never seen it.
It's almost like Besser was.
It's one of the greatest goals I've ever seen. We don't.
It's almost like Besser was a Leaf.
Seriously, and it was on his offside. It's not like Besser was in the corner and he passed it across to Matthews. One-timed it from the right side. No, he was on the offside, and he one-timed it to the top left-hand corner of the net in the most uncomfortable looking position possible. And it was a perfect shot. I've never seen that.
We know this guy's had wrist issues, and it's like, what?
That's the other thing. This dude's had fucking wrist. He's had wrist surgery before.
He's had 2 wrist surgeries now, I think. Right?
Fuck. What? No, I'm sorry. I'm willing to say it right now. He's the best player in the National Hockey League. Put me on record. I will say. If I'm making a roster today, if you were to do a fantasy draft like in Chell, I am picking Auston Matthews over Connor McDavid.
Media bias aside. I don't care that the Toronto media is like the loudest in the league because
they're the most annoying. But it you know what? Look at him.
Just all you got to do is watch him play.
Seriously.
All you got to do is watch him play.
Look at the tape.
Auston
is unbelievable.
Oh my God. I love this kid.
There's only one thing left for this guy to do. He's just got to get it done in the playoffs.
He just has to get. That's what they all got to do.
Mm-hmm. It's not just him. It's Marner too. It's JT as well. You hope that Bunting can contribute.
It's Mo.
I'm not as concerned as William for William.
We know Willie can do.
Willie can do it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Auston hit 50. Can you fucking believe it?
Dude, he's probably gonna get to 60.
If he gets it, I swear to God, if he gets 60.
I'm gonna be more surprised if he doesn't get to 60 than be surprised if he gets there. Seriously. I'll be stunned. It's gonna take an injury for him.
Okay, I'm gonna call these two out right now. Emily, Christian, you're coming on the show if Auston Matthews gets 60 goals. I fucking dare you.
Yeah.
We're just going to bring you on for like 20 minutes. I don't care. Emily, Chris, we're going to bring you on for a little bit and we're just going to shoot the shit and gush over this kid if Auston Matthews scores 60 goals this year. I dare you right now.
I think it's appropriate to do.
I'm gonna hold him to it. Auston, man. Auston. Speaking of another kid that's just unfucking real, do you want to rebrand the Michigan goal to the Zegras?
Do you know what my favorite part about that goal was?
Sonny's reaction?
No.
Like everybody's was? No.
No, it's the fact that he didn't really have to do it.
No.
He just wrapped it around.
I know.
It was so unnecessary.
He's already done it once this year on full speed against
I was
Rush.
watching it and I was like, dude, the whole net was wide open. You really didn't have to do it.
Seriously, I love how people were talking about we need to rebrand the Michigan goal to the Zegras.
It's crazy, man. That kid's unbelievable.
He's so good. He's not going to win the Calder.
He's not, and he doesn't deserve to because most Siders.
But he kind of should.
Siders the most deserving.
God. Ugh.
He's the most fun rookie, though. There's no doubt.
Zegras? Oh, hell yeah, he is.
Make an award for that. Most fun rookie.
Most fun? Yes, absolutely. Just like name it the, kids being kids award. Like, right? His all-star, he should have won that break. I'm still salty. He should have won that breakaway.
How did he win that?
How did he not win that breakaway challenge? Him or Jack? Like, how did him or Hughes not win that breakaway challenge?
Jack Hughes has been unbelievable too.
He's been
My
great.
God.
He's
That
been
kid's
so
fucking
good.
awesome.
I love him. He's been so good. As a rival fan, I fucking love Jack Hughes.
Are we even a rival though? I feel like the Devils and Blue Jackets
Yeah.
we're the same division, but we're in this together. Like
Kind of, yeah, right?
we're like, you know what? We hate the Flyers, we hate the Penguins, we hate the Rangers, we hate the Islanders.
Yeah, right? Exactly. You gotta have some friendship, right? Other than all of
The
them.
Devils are the team I hate the least. Like I have nothing against them.
Literally, the only one that has anything against the Devils is Oliver Bjorkstrand.
Yeah, what the fuck is up with that?
I love it. 3
I love
stars.
that it's become a meme with their fan base. That
do.
all their fans will bet on him to score whenever they play Columbus.
I mean, you had buddies doing it, and he did
Exactly.
it.
That's so funny to me.
And we talked about it with Alex. Like, fuck.
Yeah. It's incredible.
I can't wait to have Alex back on. Can you tell?
Yeah.
3 stars of March. Roman Josi. Because
Norris.
of course, I mean, yeah, Josi for Norris. Come on.
Mhm.
We talked about him earlier. Josi for Norris.
Future
Johnny-
North.
Can you pull this up as to why? Like, can you pull the graphic up or whatever
For what?
for 3 stars of March? Because I don't know. I didn't look into it. I just saw the names. Roman Josi, Johnny Hockey, Johnny Gaudreau.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, the Flames. We don't talk about the Flames enough either.
Nobody talks about the Flames enough. Josi paced the NHL with 24 assists, 28 points, and a plus 14 rating and 14. Holy fucking shit. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Only 2 defensemen in league history, Bobby Orr in March 1971 and Paul Coffey, have recorded more points in a single calendar month than Josi. He became the first blue liner to outright lead the National Hockey League in scoring during a single month since Paul Coffey did it in 1990.
Oh my God. And that was a year that the Oilers won the cup with Coffee.
My God. Gaudreau, he ranks 2nd in the National Hockey League with 11 goals, 15 assists, 26 points, and 16 outings to power the Flames to a 9-4-3 March and a 5-point cushion atop the Pacific Division.
Flames are on fire. Flames are on fire.
Sergei Bobrovsky, a
That's my
flawless
dude.
7
That's my guy.
0-0 with a
11. Wait, did you say 7 or 11?
7.
Okay, I was gonna say that he played 11. He won 11 games in a calendar month. Whoa!
Yeah, so 7-0-0, 213 goals against average, 924 save percentage, 2 shutouts.
I like that. 2 shutouts. Feels like he could have had more.
Yeah.
But that's kind of just because it's Florida, right?
Yeah, man. That's the thing, man. He plays like that. He plays like that the Panthers are going to win the cup.
We didn't talk about this because we kind of just recapped Columbus's deadline, other than the deadline in general. Verhaeghe, Barkov, Claude Giroux. Claude Giroux on the right side of Alexander Barkov.
Alongside Carter Verhaeghe. And the best part about that is that means that the second line has Jonathan Huberdeau in it.
The second line has Jonathan Huberdeau on it.
And I'm assuming he's with Sam Reinhart.
Probably. And Anthony Duclair.
Potentially. They could do anything they want with this freaking lineup.
They could put Lindell up. They put
If that's
Anton
the
Lundell
case-
up there.
Oh,
Dude.
if that's the case, that means Sam Bennett is on the third line with Anton Lundell and Mason Markman.
I'm so, oh my God, these Panthers. And then you have Bob backed up by Spencer Knight.
They're unbelievable.
I feel bad for Ekblad just being out as long as he's going to be out. God.
Dude, Ben Sherratt's looked pretty good with them.
Sherratt's looked all right. Sherratt's looked all right.
It's almost like when you don't put him in a top pair situation, he's actually not that bad.
Kind of like what, didn't we call this? You got your bouncer pair, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sherratt and Gudis.
Yeah.
Are they even playing together?
I'm not sure if they're playing together. They probably will during the playoffs.
Probably.
If Ekblad's healthy.
Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah, those are pretty damn solid 3 stars for the month of March. Like, we know the month of March is like the dog days of the summer. We got a month left just based off of COVID shit.
Yep.
COVID and Olympics and what have you. But we got a month left. Pretty damn solid 3 stars of March, eh?
I'd say so.
Jack Campbell's coming back. Yay! They got desperate, especially with
good.
Peter out.
Yeah, no, it is very good that the Maple Leafs are finally going to get their backup goaltender back. You shall not pass.
Apparently, he's a nice little shell. How many times have we gone back and forth on this pronunciation between just media?
I have no idea.
It was Kallgren. Answer the call for Eric Kallgren, and then it was, and then Eric Kallgren.
And now it's Kallgren.
And no, it's Shellgren is apparently
And
what it is.
Shell?
It's
Shell?
Shellgren is what it is. That's apparently what his actual pronunciation
Mario
is.
Shells. Oh no, I got hit with the blue Shellgren.
The blue shell. That's yes. I love that. I love it. That's what his nickname should be, is Blue Shell. Dude, should it not?
Put his like head like on the blue shell as it's like spinning and about to just demolish your car as you're in first place.
His number is the amount of goals that Austin scored.
Oh, I didn't think about that. I don't know why. Anytime a goalie goes to a team, I just assume his number is 30.
It's 30 or 32 or 31.
As the years progress, we're getting more unusual numbers for goaltenders, and I'm kind of loving it.
I kind of love that, right?
Like 50 is not like totally unusual, but like,
dude, our tandem is 70 and 90.
Exactly. Matisse was 80.
Matisse was 80. Yeah.
What was Tarasov? Wasn't he like?
Halak's like 41. Anderson's 41. How many odd
Tarasov
numbers?
is 40, right?
Tarasov's 40. I mean, Tuukka. Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
How many odd numbers can you think of for goaltenders?
Jonathan Bernier is 45.
Okay.
What is Quick? Is Quick 31 or is he 32?
2.
Okay.
We see a lot of 31s.
Mm-hmm.
Like 30s for goalies.
Flower's always been 29.
That's true. That's true.
I love the one random year because Tomas Vokoun was always 29, and then when he went to the Penguins, he had to wear 92. Yeah, because Bennington's also 50.
Bennington's 50. Husso, I think, is 35.
Yeah.
You see a lot of well, okay. So
Gibson's 36.
barring
which-
like multiples of 5, I have odd numbered goalies, right?
Yeah.
It's very because Soup is 36. Freddie normally wears 31 or 35.
Well, we're forgetting the greatest goaltending number in NHL history, which is Mikko Koskinen wearing 19.
19 is a weird one. I kind of like it.
Yeah, I'd like it a lot if you didn't allow so many goals, but
I still kind of like it though, because that's very out of the ordinary, right?
it is for sure. What is I'm trying to think. Vasilevsky, what number does he wear?
Vasi is 88.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's 88. What a weird number for a goalie.
I like it though, because it's like him and Kane are like the best 88s in the league. Right?
Yeah.
How wild is that? It's gonna be nice to have Soup back.
Mm-hmm.
I might make soup for dinner tonight if I got it. I'm just thinking out loud. Going into the playoffs with Campbell and Shelgren, you think?
I mean, yeah, because Mrazek's hurt.
Mrazek's gonna probably be out for.
I think he's done for the year.
If he is, I mean, it didn't work, and I hope that
So
they can.
this is interesting. I was listening to Kipper and Bourne yesterday, and Kipper brought up an interesting point from the perspective of Peter Mrazek of not that the Maple Leafs would do it because it's a tough buyout, but he might want because people he was like it would be tough for the Maple Leafs to buy out Peter Mrazek, but it's in Peter Mrazek's best interest to stay on LTIR until the start of next season because you can't buy out an injured player.
Right, fair.
So like it would at least like assure that he would be on an NHL roster making his $3.9 million next year.
Well, that just
paid out throughout the course of the summer.
With him playing the way that he did, not knowing where his goal was. Seriously,
here's the other thing. It's not just him not knowing where the posts are and stuff like that. His groin gave out on him like
that
what
too.
2-3 times this season.
Oh, God. Oh.
That's tough.
It's brutal. It's so brutal. Man.
Especially with the way he plays, how are you going to be able to play next year with your style if you're going to continue to re-aggravate that injury?
They got him tied up for another year.
2 years.
Two after this?
Yeah, it's a 3-year deal.
Oh. Kyle, do something.
Well, here's the question. If this is a serious issue and and he's not going to be able to come back from it, like he's over it, is he going to go to Robidas Island?
Ooh, do you do that?
Might be your best option because here's the other thing. Like most people are like, you could trade, you can pull off the Nick Ritchie trade a draft pick, a high draft pick along with him to get rid of his contract. But remember, you still have as a GM have to sign off to your owner. This is why we're making a trade. At least with Nick Ritchie, you can go to Merrill and be like, we're getting a high draft pick, but we're also getting a young player who's been pretty good in the past. He's struggled with the Leafs, but maybe he can regain form. He's actually played pretty well for the Coyotes.
He's been all right. He's been scoring.
Exactly. So it's a lot easier to do it with a Nick Ritchie than it is with a Peter Mrazek, who's had as many injuries as he had the last 2 years. Especially since he's going to be under contract for $3.9 million against the cap for the next 2 years after this.
Yeah.
So that's a difficult conversation that they're going to have during the summer. But for the playoffs, it will be Jack Campbell and Erik Källgren.
Fair enough, man. Let's just. As much as I want to see it,
who you go into the playoffs with is your starter.
Oh yeah, because you want to see Jack come back and play a little bit to warm
Because I'm
up.
not gonna lie, I don't think it would be the worst idea to maybe start a series with Shelgren and see how he does. And if it's not working through the first 2 games, you can go to Jack.
Like that idea. You want to at least get Jack in for a couple games to just see where he's at to finish the
Oh, right
year.
before the end of the season, of
Yeah.
course. But I think you might be able to get some. You might be, rejuvenated in the playoffs with a young kid in net, like with like Shelgren. What a cool story this is.
Oh
We're
yeah.
really gelling around this guy, and it might fire them up when you go into a playoff series, and you might play loose with that, which would be good. But if it doesn't work, you also have the ability of, oh, we're not taking him out, we're putting Jack in. You can get some energy off of Jack getting in there too.
Yeah. Especially we don't talk about the fact that this, at least we haven't brought it up enough, that this is a contract year for Jack Campbell.
That's interesting. He had such a good start to the season and then such a crap second half, and then the injury that, God, I'm not sure what his market is. Teams are hungry for goalies, so like that'll help him.
He's definitely, excuse me, voice crack. Wow. He's proven that he can be a starter. Finally.
Has he?
I think so. I mean,
he's shown that he's more than capable of being a good goaltender. But again, part of being a starting goaltender isn't just performing well
and being like the nicest dude in the
starting
world.
5 of 6 games. That is the element of Jack Campbell that I'm unsure of. I think he's shown that you can rely on him to be a pretty good goalie. I think his struggles as of late before the injury, those are the outlier for his Maple Leafs career.
Probably,
from when he first came to the playoffs to the start of this year, the outlier is his struggles.
Well, you got to remember too, when they originally traded Trevor Moore to the Kings, Soup was the throw-in. They were doing this for Clifford. They initially made that trade to get.
I thought it was 50-50. I thought they wanted a backup goalie. They didn't envision him being a starter, but
it was more for Clifford at the time than it was for Campbell.
Yes,
they needed a backup goalie, but the bigger part of that deal was to get the sandpaper in Clifford.
Yeah, and it's worked out well for them. It's worked out very well.
Clifford came back.
Exactly. Clifford came back. He's giving them what they need on their fourth line right now. But more importantly, Campbell's giving you some good service.
Oh yeah.
But like I said, like I think from what I've seen from Jack Campbell, production wise,
don't you want to meet the guy too?
I think he's good. I think he's a good goalie. My only question is, can you rely on this guy to start 55 to 60 games for you? That's the question.
He's
because I don't want to spend north of $4.5 million on a goaltender if he's only going to be starting me 40 to 45 games.
I mean, seasons being cut short doesn't really help his workload proving that much.
And that's another element to it. That's absolutely another element, because it's not like we had an 82 game season last year when Anderson was struggling and he got hurt. To see Jack Campbell, or when they first got him and then the season was cut short because of COVID. Yeah, that's the other thing, is it's crappy timing, because it's hard to judge because there's been so much taken away.
Right. That's how you feel about the Ovi chase too, even though he's probably going to do it.
He's going to do it.
He's going to do it. Don't you just want to meet Jack Campbell too? Does he not feel like the nicest
guy ever?
Oh my God.
I feel like
the sweetest dude in the world.
Conversation with him would make me feel so much better about myself.
Honestly, I just want to meet Jack Campbell just to like become his friend. I don't.
Yeah, well, he's probably friends with everybody because he's
like, honestly, even like you gotta. there's an element even to professional athletes like Auston Matthews, like a Connor McDavid, where you're like, okay, these guys are around our age, but you're so starstruck because of who they are.
Mm-hmm.
You meet a guy like Jack Campbell, who's so down to earth and nice to everybody, that you're like, yeah, this is just a dude. This is just a friend of mine.
Mm-hmm.
Like, honestly, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would love to meet Jack Campbell just to like swap bro stories and just to be his buddy.
Yeah.
You know, it's like Lindsay and Patty, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that not the best thing in the world? Like
is.
in terms of Columbus Twitter, is just the relationship that Lindsay and Patrick
Yes.
Laine have right now.
It's hilarious. Two of my favorite people.
I know. Thing I want to end on, because I kind of want to just mention baseball just as an ending thing, and we're running long. Baseball's finally doing the replay thing. Where they're miking up the umps.
Yeah, they'll finally give like, aren't they gonna like make announcements to their calls, like rather than just doing the, or like they'll actually
literally instead of just cavemaning everything, they're finally gonna have the turn the mics on and say, this is why we did what we did.
Yeah, I like that because we get that in the National Hockey League, which is nice because they'll be like the call on the ice stands, we have a good goalie, which means
the NFL
we reviewed it, there's nothing to overturn it, or we deemed that this player's offside. No
football
goal.
with stands is called is like, okay, we don't know.
It means we're going with the call on the field.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because we don't have enough evidence to fix this.
And Stunner, Jake. What league does it the best?
The NBA?
Yes, the NBA. Because you go to a game and you're like, what the fuck are they reviewing? And then the guy, the ref will go to the middle, the table.
The scorer's table, yeah.
Go right in front of the monitor and be like, we're reviewing this play because we are going to see if his foot was on the line to deem if it was a 3-point play or a 2-point play. And you're like, okay, thank you. And then he'll get back and be like, his foot was on the line. It's a 2-point play. And it's like, thank you. Like, Stunner, the NBA does the best.
Right?
It's amazing what can happen when you have a commissioner who loves their sport and wants what's best for it and wants to make it better.
It's still funny to me that they did this right after Joe West retired.
Oh, God.
Can you imagine Joe West?
Hernandez having to explain this shit.
Angel Hernandez. Oh, no.
Dude's the worst. Like, here's the thing. Like,
imagine Ron Culpa just being like, I did this because fuck you.
Joe, like, West wasn't the worst ump.
No.
He wasn't. I don't even think he was bad. He was a fine ump. It's just that he was the most likely ump of any ump on the field to make the game about himself.
Yeah. Him and Angel, and Ron Culpa. That's literally, yeah. That's your trifecta. If he didn't
make the game about himself, he would have been a fine ump. Nobody would have cared. But yeah, Angel just sucks. He's fucking garbage.
Angel's just bad, yeah.
Yeah.
And then Ron Culpa's just an asshole.
Yeah. And then all the other umps who you've never heard of, they're decent at their job because you don't know who they are.
Exactly. The only way you could find out who they are is through John Boy.
Mm-hmm.
Because he knows everybody. I'm happy they're finally doing this, because even going to games live where you're just like, even just watching the umpires live and you don't even know that they're pointing for a review thing.
Mm-hmm. You get confused.
Because it's like
diehard baseball fans. Imagine being a baseball fan who doesn't like, or like just being a casual. You'd be clueless. You'd be like, what are you doing?
Exactly. But you go to a game.
I'm glad they're finally doing it, but can we just clown them for a second that it took them this goddamn long?
Can we, dude? We can clown them for just about anything that they've done, especially recently.
Mm-hmm. God. What a ridiculous league.
I'm not. This is the first time I'm not looking forward to baseball.
Well, I think that's because of your team.
Team lockout.
Don't worry, I'm with you.
Dude, the lockout too. Just
Cheap owners, let's go.
Cheap owners, woo!
Stolen.
Columbus has a home and home against Boston tonight, Monday, and then they play Philly on our next podcast day.
Hopefully they can win a game soon.
It's another home and home because they have Philly on Tuesday and then they get a day off and then they host Philly.
Here's the thing. For me, personally, let's go. The Blue Jackets, as of right now, if the season were to end today, would get the 7th and the 12th pick.
They would be exactly where you wanted them to be, one game over 500.
Mm-hmm. Let's go.
Let's do this, people. We'll see ya.
Jake Jackets, a podcast for fifth liners and all puckheads around. Follow the guys on Twitter at Snake Gehringer, GARRINGER, and at by J Ashdown. And subscribe on YouTube or wherever you listen. March on.